Hello everybody. This short video is just to explain the function and how to load your saw frame. And that's what this thing is. It's a saw frame. And basically what we have to do, the goal initially is to get this little guy, this saw blade, you can't see it, it's not going to focus, it's too small. We're going to get that installed between this point and this point, held in place by this little mechanism here. You can unscrew it and it like opens up to create more space, and then it tightens obviously to close that space and then to pinch down really hard. So each of you should have some variation of this basic saw frame where there are two little points to hold on to the blade, and then there's this third point back here where the frame actually opens and closes and basically it gets longer and shorter to accommodate varying lengths of saw blade. Everybody has the same length of saw blade, and we should be able to just stick with the exact same length of saw blade for the duration of the school year. So you should be able to set this one and forget it. But we definitely want to make sure that it's set properly, because there is obviously a way to do it incorrectly. And the reason that this slides back and forth is that you want to be able to put tension on this little guy. When it's in the saw blade, here I'll show you what it should not look like. If you tighten it into one end like this, so you can see now these little jaws are holding on to this end of the saw blade, and we want to get the other end of the saw blade captured in here. But obviously, if it's not set to the proper length, it gets all buckled and weird. And even if I set it in there like this, it's at its full length, but it's not tight, and we want for this thing to be really nice and tight. So what we do is we adjust this back lengthening apparatus such that when the blade is connected to one of the ends, the open end doesn't quite reach into or all the way into the other open section. So I would want to close this just a little bit so that you can see, now that I've got this about the right length that I want for it to be, it's like this opening right here, this little gap right here, that's as far down as this blade can go into the saw frame. So if I hold it in there, you can see that it doesn't quite reach all the way down in there. So it has that amount of room that it can be pressed in. And the way that this works, this is going to be tricky to show you on video, but I'm going to do my best. What you do is you sort of put this part of the saw frame against a table or something really, really sturdy that you can push against with it. And then I'm gonna put the end of the handle kind of into my hip like this. And then I want to get this in the frame. This is tough to do alone. It's kind of fun though. So anyway, you make sure the blade is captured within this little tightening mechanism, but loose. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push into the saw frame with my hip, and what'll happen is that I wanna push it to where the end of the blade here bottoms out in this little capture mechanism. So I'm pushing on it, it's tightening it, and it's slightly closing the saw frame and putting tension on the blade such that when I tighten it under tension, now it's nice and tight. And that's your goal, is to today, right now, attempt to put your saw blade into your saw frame under tension with the right length and everything set up. And that's the goal for this video, is to just sort of show you how to do that. So let's try that now.